Hey folks, it is July 2025 and I want to give an update on a native wildflower garden that my community HOA has planted. First, I want to start with a patch that we began earlier this year. This used to be all shrubs and some invasive species. Now let's take a look at what's going on here. We've got some partridge pea. I think I see a ton of black-eyed Susan growing up. I see a few things that we didn't plant, including black nightshade over here. It is native though. These star-shaped plants are lupine. This plant right over here is native. It is ragweed, but I am pulling it because it's not very pretty, and also it pollinates at about the same time as goldenrod, and a lot of people think that they are allergic to goldenrod when in fact they are allergic to ragweed. Here's stuff that I am excited for. This is blue stem goldenrod, and right next to it is whitewood aster. I definitely want to see more goldenrod and aster growing up here. Here again is a native plant that we did not plant, but I'm hoping that we can stick around. This is black cherry. And according to Go Botany, the cherries are an important mast food for a ton of our local birds. As always, we got some bittersweet. I am trying to be really rigorous in making sure that this stuff does not take place in the garden expansion. There's also something here called common sorrel, which I didn't plant, but it's native, and I think it has a flower that is gonna be nice. And it's better than bare ground for sure. So it's gonna be a little bit light because this is the first year and we only really did seeding in the spring. I am very much excited for this plot. All told, this is 1,000 square feet of area that will be a wildflower garden once it's established. Over here is a look towards what it'll look like once it is established. So right here is a ton of swamp milkweed. This is going to be very popular one day with monarch butterflies, but until then it's super popular with pollinators of all sorts. Behind it, you could see a bunch of goldenrod popping up. I'm looking forward to that. Here is partridge pea. These are going to be tons of yellow flowers towards the end of the summer. You can see some asters sticking up through here, and then some really wild stuff. All of these little dark spots are aphids that have been established, and I think they're being maintained by ants. These tall white flowers are eastern daisy fleabane. We're starting to see some black-eyed Susan. These tall tower things are mullein, which are also not native, but I think they're naturalized, and they're pretty. You get these yellow blossoms, and I think the birds and the bees like them quite a bit. And at the tail end of the garden, you're starting to see some black-eyed Susan pop up, and some eastern primrose, which I'm very excited for. I don't think we've had any eastern primrose the past few years. And our little sign, this property is on the pollinator pathway, which it is. Attention to the poison ivy and bittersweet. All told, we are looking at 1,700 square feet of native pollinating wildflowers at the cost of the labor. One of our neighbors has cleared it and mows it once a season, and then a few bags of wildflower seeds. And then, you know, I come out here on a break and weed a little bit, which is good exercise and it makes me happy. So a really good use of time and resources and a way to make a little bit of a habitat for our native pollinating species.